In the miraculous moments that I can find free time in my 30s, I am currently playing through the newly released Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. When I'm not doing that, I'm working on a passion project video for this channel which discusses Metal Gear Solid. Recently, I finished replaying through Cyberpunk 2077 and its DLC, Phantom Liberty. When I see her just sitting there, I try to convince my wife to try out Baldur's Gate 3, because I really think she'll like it if she just gives it a chance. Come on, babe, I know you're watching, just try it for me. Later, in this spooky month of October, in the spooky year of 2024, I am very much looking forward to the remake of Silent Hill 2. The point I'm trying to make is that there are so many video games that need playing. They desperately fight for dominance in the sprawling, forgotten wasteland that is the modern-day person's attention span. A contemporary video game enjoyer is eternally caught between ham-fisted, thought-provoking AAA Metacritic baitware and formulaic, psychologically manipulative, microtransaction-laden time sinks. That is why a game like this comes across as a breath of fresh air which reeks of childish revelry and deer farts. Hello. My name is Kid3K, and I want to talk about Oh Dear. The other day, my friends and I conveniently all had some free time at the same time. When you and all of your friends are in your 30s, this is a small miracle in and of itself. On a whim, we decided to pick up this somewhat innocuous game off the Steam store. Before we knew it, hours had passed and the laughs had not stopped. Oh Dear is a hide-and-seek style game. This kind of game isn't particularly new, but if you're unaware, I'll explain it simply. The general premise of this gentle genre is a group of designated hiders must avoid detection from a designated seeker or seekers. The first instance that I can think of for this format of game is the popular Gary's mod, Prop Hunt. In Prop Hunt, the hiders mimic objects they find lying around in the map. They then try to blend in with the scenery, hoping to avoid drawing the murderous gaze of their pursuers. The seekers are firearm-equipped, hairpin trigger madmen that go around shooting inanimate objects, hoping to find the fakers. Hide-and-seek as a genre exploded into popularity thanks to the perfect storm cocktail of games like Prop Hunt and Among Us, mixed with an unhealthy amount of coronavirus lockdowns. Garnish your glass with a sprig of Twitch streamers unnecessarily screaming their lungs out, and you've got yourself a very tasty drink indeed. Nowadays, hide-and-seek games are a dime a dozen, but none have caught my attention and my sides so well as Oh Dear. Oh Dear takes a group of people and turns them into deer. With me so far? One of those people are then chosen to be a hunter for the round. The hunter's job is to seek out the deer players and teach them a lesson. The deer are tasked to remain hidden in the world and avoid attracting the hunter's attention and the hunter's arrows. If the game were as plain and simple as this, then there's hardly much room for shenanigans. That is why the game gets a little weird. The deer players are constantly in a battle against their rumbling tummies. In order to satiate the ravenous demands of the deer's gluttonous gullet, the deer player must constantly be on the hunt for mushrooms. When a deer eats a mushroom, it pings the ever-vigilant hunters with a direction marker on their HUD, betraying recent fungal consumption. If a deer gets too hungry, they lose the ability to blend in and, start standing up on their hind legs and walking around. This is obviously undeer-like behavior and attracts attention. Likewise, the hunter is also in a race against time, but his deadline is not marked by a stomach emptied of necessary nutrients, but a brain filled with horrible truths. If a hunter's sanity meter depletes before they are able to deduce the deer become deadly. They transform into monsters, Wendigos to be specific, and turn the hunter into the hunted. The poor hunter then has a final chance to retreat to the safety of his log cabin before getting ganked. A hunter loses sanity continuously over time, and they lose a large chunk of sanity if they carelessly murder an innocent non-player deer. The only way for them to gain sanity is to eliminate a player deer. If you've ever been 6 years old before, then it may come as no surprise to you that evading the seeker is only phase 1 of the game, the appetizer, if you will. The true meat of this meal comes after a deer has been found. When a deer's cover is blown, they must flee from the hunter lest they meet a swift and sometimes hilarious end. The hunter need only land a single arrow on the deer to send the deer to meet God. On the other hand, the deer have tools at their disposal to evade the hunter and hopefully re-engage full stealth. As previously mentioned, a deer can stand on its hind legs and sprint away from the hunter, hoping to break line of sight. The hunter is equally swift, however, and it could be that the deer is unable to lose the watchful gaze of his would-be killer. That is why God has graciously given the deer one last trick up their proverbial sleeve.
I heard someone fart.
In a pinch, out of necessity, or just whenever they think it'd be funny, the deer can catapult themselves forward by excessively evacuating excrement from their butts. A simple implementation, a childish concept, but truly, this mechanic is key when considering what has made Oh Deer stand out to me among a somewhat lackluster litany of an all-too-long journey trying to chase down evasive enjoyment. I want to take this opportunity to point out that I am not trying to claim that a quaint little inclusion of rudimentary toilet humor is all it takes to sell me. In fairness, I will admit that I never grew out of toilet humor, and I truly pity anyone that has. But when it comes to the consideration of this comical quarry, the poop trajectory is paramount. Let me ask you a simple question. What is your expectation of experience when you engage with an interactive electronic entertainment product? What do you want when you play a video game? The fact is, whenever you sit down to play a video game, you are entering an agreement. You ask of your game to provide you with a variety platter of different flavors of value. Some seek succulent escapism, others desire a challenge to overcome, many people wish to enjoy a good story, and many more wish to savor sweet competition. If we juggle players' platitudes aggressively enough, we can eventually reduce all of these expectations down to the pursuit of entertainment. The video game then asks of its player to earn that entertainment. To truly escape the suffocating grip of our own reality, we must learn and become immersed in another. If we wish to best the hardships put before us, we have to master the rules and mechanics that bind our interactivity. A captivating narrative doesn't necessarily ask a lot of us, but I think many people out there will agree that a significant time investment is often more trying. And of course, proving oneself in the digital coliseum of virtual contests necessitates a player outwit and outplay the competition. This stupid, simple, poopy little hide-and-seek deer game breaks every one of all of those rules. That is what makes this game so special to me. It requires nothing of the player, but offers so much in generous bounty. You need but ask, and it giveth freely until thy cup overfloweth. I can't believe how easy it is to have fun in this game. Oh Deer presents itself as a video game, but after all my time with it, I can only really think of it as a toy. At the surface level, there is a facade of friendly competition between the hunter and the deer, but the superficial tense atmosphere of us versus them dissipates the instant a deer fart catapults itself into the air. It's just funny. Therein still lies the gentle encouragement to pursue your role's objectives, but it is vital that the player understands this as mere tepid suggestion and not dutiful demand. Popping this bubble of pre-notion is crucial to anyone's true enjoyment of Oh Deer, because once you pop, the fun don't stop. I just fucking quarterback T-boned you. Oh Deer is chock full of childish revelry. There are times when, as a deer, you will be blending in with fakers as the hunter strolls by, eyeing the deer with suspicious gaze. You struggle to stifle sneaky snickers as you try to imagine how would a computer deer act and not blow your cover. This engagement to me is reminiscent of hiding beneath the sheets or somewhere just out of sight as your parents come looking for you, perhaps to tell you to finish your homework or come help with the dishes. Sometimes you just want to throw stealth out the window and sprint about the map, taunting the hunter as they miss arrow after arrow. This reminds me of the days I would spend playing tag during recess. The faster kids would often jaunt at such a pace as to just narrowly avoid whoever was it. Back in those days, I was more often than not it. Lobbing arrow after arrow at the death-defying deer takes me back to gym class where we would play dodgeball. There are very few things in this world as satisfying as pegging an opposing playmate with those very particular kind of rubber inflatable balls, a sound hit resonating with an unmistakable pung. Despite my heretofore unnecessarily grandiose loquaciousness, there is something here that is hard to put into words. Oh Deer gives me a feeling in my tired, frumpy pursuit of jubilations resembling the fleeting nostalgia of youthful afternoons spent playing video games. I think you should play this game. I think we should all play this game. I think we all deserve a chance to be reminded that we don't always have to give, that sometimes it's okay to just take when others are offering. It's okay to stop the grind and start to grin. Even if you approach this game with your most try-hard of try-harding, Oh Deer will put its hooves on your shoulders and show you how to have a good time. Because When you're trying your best to lock in as a hunter, and then it turns out that your most valuable piece of information betraying your prey's presence is a fart carried to your ears on the wind's breath? It's hilariously liberating. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.